Welcome to the Entrepreneurship Networking Program. Your host, Mila Jonathan Mpoko, and tonight we shall be talking about transforming cooperatives' agenda into economic development programs. And to help us with this topic, we're joined by Mr. Dixon Mlenga, a recent university graduate and CEO, Chief Executive Officer for United Youth's Economics Mindset Cooperative Society Limited. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Johnson Mwira. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to share one or two information with the audience.
That's very good. As you know, the United Youth Economic Mindset Cooperative Society Limited is a cooperative society company that was actually opened by university students and also recent graduates, just to handle some of the economic activities that are needed in the country. As you know, we had actually brought the Director of Registration and Regulation of Cooperatives for the Ministry of SME, and we'll soon be bringing the Director of Cooperatives and Entrepreneurship from the Ministry. So it's very, very cardinal that we have a cooperative that is actually actively working out there, and it's actually being done by university students and also recent graduates. So I'll just run into it quickly. Maybe we'll take you back. How did you find the process of registering a cooperative, of course, with the Ministry of SME?
Okay, thank you very much for that intelligence question. Yeah, registering a cooperative, it requires a little bit of process.
Okay.
Yes, so in the same process, you have to understand the specific activities that you want to venture into. So when starting our cooperative, we had to sit down with my executive board directors, where we came to analyze and put things in order and see how best we can manage this economic development of our country, which is Zambia.
Okay.
So in first, we started with agriculture, where we started with 100 broiler chickens.
Okay.
So we started keeping broiler chickens. Then from there, we started supplying as smoked products.
Okay.
Into different stakeholders. Then from there, we managed to raise one or two funds, which managed our cooperative to say, no, since we have this skill, we have students from School of Education, School of Humanities, School of Engineering, School of Agriculture Sciences.
So just to stop you there, obviously we'll pick up from where you're saying.
Sure.
We just wanted to find out how long did it take you to get your certificate? Once you actually load in your application for a cooperative, obviously going through all those requirements, how long did it take for you to actually, and maybe in case you faced some challenges in the process,
sure,
when you actually register your cooperative, how long did it take for you to register that cooperative? And also, if there are any challenges you faced when actually registering a cooperative?
Sure. So we had several challenges.
Okay.
So one of the challenges that we had was how to come up with the ideas.
Okay.
In terms of managing the cooperative.
Okay.
So that took us almost 3 months. Then from there, we have to visit Kwacha House, where they need to verify if your bylaws are in line with the activities that you want to venture into.
Okay.
Yes. Then from there, we had to sit down. Then we realized to say our cooperative was being recognized and recommended to register with the PACRA, which is a cooperative registration department.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Then from there we submitted our documents. Then it took us almost 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 months. So we just been told, Joe, come there, come there. So after that we received our certificate. And after we received the certificate, then that's how we had to sit down and come up with the action plan.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Now, I'd catch you when you're actually describing, obviously in the briefest way, words. Can you just describe what your cooperative does? Maybe you can give us a briefest what your cooperative has done, what it has actually done, and maybe just a few things that it's currently doing.
Yeah, so at first we started with agriculture.
Okay.
Where we suggested is to venture into chicken farming.
Okay.
Yeah, then from there, we realized to say we have brilliant mindset which can help the community to share knowledges to the learners.
Okay.
So we realized to say we can establish the Community Education Training Skills Center, which will help youths, women, and the men to acquire one or two skills in different fields. So we have a school of driving. So we have Mr. Jonathan Mpoka, who is also lecturing in driving school. We also have a school of agriculture. We also have a school of aquaculture sciences.
Okay.
So we targeted this area of specific skills, looking at the demand of the economic development of our country.
Oh, so that's wonderful. But everything, every venture, every business or every activity has got its own challenges.
Sure.
And obviously, just on the operational side of things, what challenges are you facing, as a cooperative, in actually trying to achieve some of your objectives? What kind of challenges are you facing?
So most of the challenges we're facing mostly is a lack of access to resources.
Okay.
Yeah, for total development.
Okay.
Because when starting the cooperative, where it requires total resources, which will enable you to drive the agenda smoothly.
Okay.
Yes. So the main challenge, I can say, is lack of resources.
Okay, that's good. But obviously, the government has put up some platforms to access financing. Might not be as easy as it is to access, but obviously put the platforms. Have you taken advantage of some of these platforms to actually apply? Have you taken your first step?
Yes. We've actually applied under CDF.
Okay.
So that we see how best we can be helped to excel into this initiative.
Okay, interesting. So what activities have you put in place for the transformation of economic growth programs into economic development activities?
So,
briefly,
firstly, we want to expand the knowledge to the learners on how best we can transform the ideas within the cooperative into an economic programs. So one, we've started with agriculture because most of us intellectuals, we've sidelined this sector thinking of it's for the big people or old people. Because if looking at the percentage, agriculture, it contributes, I think, most of the percentage in terms of economic development sector.
Yes.
Yeah, so we want to train young ones on how best they can go with agriculture sector, and also to train the younger ones on how best they can use the skills within their talented area.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I've just noticed the portfolio of your cooperative. It's actually in two skill sets. And you speak of agriculture. Is it just, have you concentrated on actually giving the knowledge, or is any activity, maybe as a cooperative, maybe let's talk about agriculture. Are you also thinking of, okay, let's get land and maybe start growing a certain type of product, or let's go into agro-processing? Is it just focusing the fact that it's a multi-purpose? But I've noticed that much of it is actually into the skill set, provision of those services. Yeah, is there any deliberate move to actually also engage into businesses like processing, into business like, agriculture, in terms of actually going on the ground?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, we are into that. So this year we are planning to do sunflower, 2 hectares. So we've been blessed with a land, which is Chidadira Farm 1806. That's Wacha constituency. So this year we are planning to put sunflower there for the startup. Okay. Then we've also have 3 piglets for start. So we are waiting for them to give us birth, so that we can see how best we can expand. We also have the fish ponds, which are just staying. They're incomplete. Okay. So looking for other stakeholders willing to come on board and be helping us venture into aquaculture sciences. So we've noticed to say those fish ponds, they can also be used as practical sciences, because the farm is just near the school where we've installed our community training skills center. Okay. Yes.
Well, that's interesting. You talk of sunflower. What is your aim? What is the resultant you need from the sunflower business? Are you going to sell the sunflower, the seeds themselves, or is there a deliberate move where you actually have to go and process it yourself? What's the plan for the sunflower? I'm very interested in that.
Yeah, for the first part, we want to sell the seeds so that we can earn the capital
Okay.
for us to start processing.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, because the processing part, it requires attention and
Exactly.
also resources.
Okay, okay.
Yes, so we want to start with first the seeds and see how best we're going to make from it. Then the decision will come from the amount of money we're going to get from it.
Oh, that's good, that's good. That's a very good stepping stone. But you spoke of the action plan. The action plan, how are you carrying out your action plan to actually achieve that economic development of those activities? How are you carrying out that action plan?
Yeah, I believe in, it's not easy to come up with a plan because it requires total attention, focus, perseverance, and strong determination.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, we came up with the plan of having the certain activities within the cooperative. Then from there, we realized to say we had one or two challenges in terms of finances. Then we had to say, no, since we have this bigger plan, so let's start from the bottom so that we can get one or two things in terms of resources for us to excel into another activity. So like I mentioned that first we started with chicken farming, where we started supplying the village chickens into other sectors. Then we managed to raise some certain funds.
Okay.
Then that funds we had to divide them into now the education sector, where we managed to register with the WASIS, the VETA,
Okay.
and also managed to get the letter from the Ministry of Education so that they can allow us to install this community training skills center. So they definitely gave us the blessing of installing the skills training center into 10 provinces.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, okay, okay.
So we have long-term plans and also short-term plans.
Okay.
So for long-term plan, where like for the same one for the training skills, it started, that was in 2021. So looking at the financial muscle, it wasn't allowing us to pursue depending on the planned period. So we had to take time and say no, since we had already planned on this, so the implication of planning, it always comes into implementations.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had to say no, let's sit down and wait, provided we implement on this agenda.
Okay, okay. That's very commendable. Mr. Dixon Mlenga, CEO for United Youth Economic Mindset Multipurpose Cooperative Society Limited, doing a number of things. It's very interesting that young people, the youth students actually, and that's recent graduates, are doing a number of things, just to come up with some economic activity. And they've got different skill set. Others are accountants, others are IT personnel, but they're into agriculture, they're into skill set provision of services. They are into many things, and which is actually good. And this is what the ministry has actually been trying to advocate for cooperatives to be formed, because the goodness of cooperatives is that it distributes wealth, it also distributes knowledge across the committee and across the nation. So as we're just coming to the final minutes of the program.
Sure.
Obviously, there are youth out there, students out there, university students out there, there are graduates out there. Can you just tell us some of the benefits of actually registering a cooperative?
I think one or two benefits of registering cooperative, it actually emphasizes us youths to work within our skills. Why am I saying so? Most of us, especially graduates, we depend on the government to employ us, instead of using the skill within the knowledge we've acquired from a certain university or college to help the government create employment. Like, for example, the same training skills center I've mentioned, I've managed to employ about 12 lecturers.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, and also other individuals on board will be helping our community to excel.
Okay.
Yeah, so this has really now opened up our mind to say it is really important to open a cooperative for the benefits of also the country and the development of the economic sector.
All right, okay. Great stuff. Thank you, Mr. Dixon Mlenga, for actually according us the time. And we wish you the best in your activities as a cooperative, and may God bless your week.
Thank you.
Thank you, viewers, for actually tuning in, and see you next time.